Hello and welcome back to our sweet sunny days. As we start to settle into spring, we are really reveling in the beautiful mundaneness of our lives. I feel like we have had a really high pace up until now, and this week we are just enjoying the slowdown, enjoying things, greening up, spending more time outside, and really just reveling in our beautiful, slow life. We've got some simple meals going in the kitchen and some simple house projects this week. The first thing that we have going in the kitchen is a Korean ground beef recipe. I don't remember if I saw it on Pinterest or maybe I was searching what to do with ground beef, but I recently discovered this recipe and I have been loving it so much. So I've mentioned this before, but we buy our beef in bulk, and whenever you buy your beef in bulk, one, you end up with a lot of really yummy cuts, but you also end up with a stockpile of ground beef. Now, if you're not intentional about using ground beef, I feel like sometimes it's kind of hard to get through. Now, some people are going to listen to that and be like, I always run out of the ground beef first. And we do use a lot of ground beef, but I'm usually looking for some creative ways to use it. And I recently discovered this recipe and I am loving it for using ground beef because it's so simple. So you just cook up the ground beef and make a Korean style sauce and pour it over. And then you have it with a bed of rice and some sort of veggie. We've been doing sugar snap peas or broccoli is really yummy. And it is just such a yummy way to make ground beef. As I spend more time in the kitchen, I am learning the value of treating food with simplicity. I love a fun, fancy, dare I say, complicated recipe just as much as the next person. But there is so much value in simple sustenance and just having a veggie, rice, and a good, well-sourced meat. I am learning that not every meal has to be this 5-star meal. You can have meals that are just simple, that get your family fed, and that make great leftovers so they get your family fed more than once. And there is a lot of value in that. And this meal, I feel, strikes that balance perfectly. Staying on the theme of simplicity, I have been eyeing this project for a really long time, and I finally decided that there was no reason to overcomplicate it. This particular wall in our house just looked so flat, and I used to have wallpaper on this wall, and I took it down because I didn't love it. And when I took it down, I just painted it the same color white as the rest of the basement, and it just fell so flat. And so I decided, you know what? I'm just going to order some wallpaper. I'm not going to overthink the print or overthink anything. I'm just going to order some wallpaper. It was cheap. I think it was like $20 a roll. And I'm going to hang it up because this is a simple, easy project. As long as I don't think about it too much, as long as I don't overcomplicate it, this is an easy project that I can get done in one day that will add so much life to our family room downstairs. If you are anything like me, projects like this and home decor is so much fun to you. I actually really, really enjoy hanging wallpaper. I think it's because I hate painting so much and I hate waiting for it to dry, and so I like that I don't have to do that with wallpaper. Anyways, these types of projects are so fun to me, almost to the point where it feels like a waste. If that sounds silly, but it feels like I'm just like having the time of my life. Like, how could this add any value? And I was reminded that it totally does when my husband was like, I love the new wallpaper. It adds so much life to our living room. It adds so much warmth. And I just have to remember that there is definitely value to your family in having a home that makes people feel cozy, that makes people feel comfortable, and that is put together. Even if it's really, really, especially if it's really, really fun for you, it's not a waste. It is adding value to your family and making you feel comfortable and cozy in your own home. And there is a lot to be said for that. Now, obviously, I don't want you guys to hear that and think that your home has to be perfectly aesthetic or everything has to be amazingly decorated. Ours is certainly not that way. There are so many ways that you can add value, that we can add value as homemakers. This week particular, it looked like doing a little $40 upgrade and a one-day project in the basement and cooking some simple meals. For you, it might look like making fresh loaves of bread or just keeping the kids alive that day. It could look like homeschooling, simple, home-cooked, from-scratch meals. There's a lot of ways in which homemaking adds value. I just don't want you guys to undersell the ways that having a beautifully well-kept home adds value to your family. As for the logistics, I guess, of the actual decorating of the shelves, I opted for a super practical look with thrifted frames all along the top, colorful vases, and all of our books on the bottom. Later on in the week, I was hosting some friends for a girls' night. And if you are new around here, that means that we are making pizzas. Pretty much every time we host, we make pizzas on the outdoor pizza oven. So the first thing I had to get going in my kitchen was the pizza dough. This particular time, I did not think ahead enough to use sourdough, so I just used an instant yeast recipe. My favorite one is from King Arthur baking website, and it is so yummy and pretty much fail-proof, so I'm a huge fan of that. While the pizza dough was kneading, I decided to keep the momentum going in the kitchen. One of the things I love about hosting pizza nights is that for the most part, I can take nap times and take gaps in the day, throughout the day, and get a lot of the things that need to be done before people ever get over or before, like right before they come over. So the first thing is obviously the dough, and then I like to have fresh homemade ranch made whenever people come over for pizza. So I am able to make that at any point throughout the day, even the day before if I want to. And then also I am able to prep a lot of the toppings the day of. So that is one of my favorite things about pizza night, is that I can take the day of and prep throughout the day rather than having to do it all at once right before people come over. This homemade ranch recipe is one of my favorites. It is from the blogger Pinch of Yum, and it is tucked inside of one of her posts. I think it's like a taco post. And we have since transferred it to a postcard, and we pretty much have it on hand all the time. I can't have dairy, so bottled ranch or ranch that you can get at the store does not work for me because it has the buttermilk in it. But this ranch I can totally have because it has a mayo base. And for the most part, especially if you get like a Primal Kitchen mayo, or we use Chosen Foods mayo, whatever Costco has, you can make it pretty healthy as well. So this ranch is an absolute necessity in our home because It is dairy-free, pretty healthy, and for the most part, we always have all the ingredients we need to make it. So this is one that we use constantly and put on top of a lot of different entrees in our home. As we get a little bit older and a little more settled in, we have definitely learned that one of the joys of home ownership is hosting. Now, that's not to say that you couldn't host in an apartment, because you absolutely could. But this actually used to really stress me out. I used to be so worried, not so much about my house being clean, though I did panic clean before. And I no longer do that, which I'm really proud of myself about. But I used to be so worried about people having fun, and I've been able to relax, really lean into it, and just simply enjoy the time that we get to spend with our friends in our home. It's so comfortable, and I just really love creating a space where people feel like they can stay as long as they want, and they know that they are gonna come over and have a yummy meal, not have to pay a dime like they would in a restaurant, and not have to clean anything up. I think that being able to provide that is so fun and makes hosting so much fun. And I hope that when people come over, they just feel like they can kick their feet up, relax, and eat yummy food and hang out with good company. As the land around us starts to perk up and get all colorful and green and show signs of life, we are finding ourselves wanting to slow down a little bit, spend some more time outside, and just really take it all in. I am a summer person, and so is my husband. We are summer people. It's our favorite season through and through. And so we are ready to have the warm days welcome us, the warm, long, slow summer days, and really soak all of that in. As always, I hope this video was inspiring to you. I'll see you guys next week.